PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code Cajun, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and it is nice to take a break from the MJ Hierarchy project and do a quick little video for you guys on the top 23 Jordan cards that sold last night on the Goldin Weekly Auction. This auction ended on July 13th, 2023. I'm filming this the morning of July 14th, the morning after. Let's get cranking. I've got screen share. Again, we only do the top 23. We're going to start by looking at two Jordan memorabilia pieces, right? The first one's a floor piece, sold for $414. It's a BGS 9 right next to it. We've got a really cool card. I think this has great aesthetics. 2009 Upper Deck Dual Game Materials Jordan LeBron. It's a PSA 8 and it sells for $450. Seems cheap to me. I'd need to flip the card over to see if it's game used and all that stuff. But again, I'm not a memorabilia collector, but $450 doesn't seem like very much money. There's a lot of cards out there selling for $450 that seem a lot more populated than that one. The first one we're going to look up's a beauty, right? Everybody remembers the 95 Flair Anticipation. If you're watching the MJ Hierarchy video series that's ongoing, you're going to see this card very soon at some point. It's got that infrared Ghost Jordan background behind it, just a bevy of colors, a really good looking card, a card that actually grades really, really well. We've got it pulled up. It sold for $504 last night on Goldin, and I am warning you guys, stay tuned till the end. Some of these cards are up. They're up and up significantly. I don't necessarily know what's going on. I want you guys to comment below what's going on with these Jordan cards that are between 500 and 10,000. Just let me know what you think is happening right now with Jordan cards after you watch this auction. I just want your thoughts in the comments. Just give me your thoughts on this whole video that you're about to watch. The first one we're going to look up, though, is the 95 Flair Anticipation. There it is, right on the nose. Nothing to see here. Exactly where we expected it. It's a BGS 9.5. There's 83 10s. There's 178 9.5s. And like I said, did I tell you they grade well? Over half of those submitted to Beckett, which is 355, I've graded a gem. So BGS 9.5 is not a tough card to gem. The PSA 10 is a little different. It's much lower gem rate, but even that card's been steady Eddie, pretty much on the number. Moving to the next row, a Jordan 5 sticker does $505. A 93 Fleer All-Stars Jordan 9.5 does $539. A little off the radar under the a card that's not really under the microscope. It kind of lurks in the shadows right there. And then right next to that, of course, we've got the very recognizable 92 Panini sticker. There's other Panini foil stickers for Jordan in this set. This, however, is recognized as the one that matters. I've bought the other ones, a couple of them in PSA 8 grades, and they are pennies. They are so cheap, and they're cool little cards, and the pop report is really not that high. But this is the one that everybody knows about. It's the 92 Panini sticker, and by the way, where do you see the difference? I haven't looked this up yet. Where do you see the difference between the 9.5 and the 10? We're about to look at that. $540 for this one, so about the same as the Anticipation. The 92 Panini foil sticker. This is sticker number 102. Here's what it looks like big and bold on your screen. Really cool, right? I'm not going to disparage it. It's really cool. I own it in a PSA 10. It's a big card. It matters. The the BGS 9.5 sold last night. Again, right what we expected. No surprises here. It's been as low as 300, 600, 540, so not really much to talk about there. Obviously, it's way down from the crazy 2021 hype of the hobby. The PSA 10 is a pop 52. The BGS 9.5 is a pop 35. The PSA 10 and the BGS gem rates aren't that disparate. They're relatively close, right? Both are hard to gem, but wait till you see the price of the PSA 10. Holy shamoly, 7x. A 7x, 7 times the ratio, 7-to-1 ratio, and that's with two pretty substantial, normal, reasonable expected sales here. The PSA 10, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the red on red, I don't know what the deal is, but 7-to-1 seems high, and for that reason, As an equal opportunity collector, Jordan collector specifically in the 90s, I think the BGS 9.5 is a pretty damn good pickup at $540, given that the PSA has consistently sold for $33.83. Even if it was over $1,000, I still think it's a good pickup. It's a lower pop and a pretty similar gem rate. Moving along, the Planet Metal 8.5 does $660. The 97 SPX Bronze BGS 9.5, that's going to look a lot like the grand finale that you guys saw on tier 1 of the MJ Hierarchy project, but it's not quite the same because it's not hand serial number 200 or hand serial number 250. But this is the 97 SPX Bronze BGS 9.5, still a really cool card. Happy owner of this card as well, of this parallel, I should say. $690 for that bronze. What about the 97 Fleer Tiffany? This is a card that we're going to look at as we get a little bit further down in the tiers for the MJ hierarchy. Not because it's not a beautiful card, not because it's not very valuable. As you can see, it is a relatively expensive card, but just because I think a lot of people aren't aware of this Tiffany parallel. There's a crystal parallel, there's a Tiffany parallel, and this is a really good picture with John Starks and Ewing and a couple of the other guys in the background. It might be Oakley. I don't know. It's too small on my screen. I've got it pulled up. Here it is. This is our sale last night, 9.5, $900. The last sale in 9.5 in May, just a couple of months ago, $836. Before that, $1180. Before that, $900. Before that, in 2022, you could have picked it up for $400. Oh, that's a BGS 7.5. Okay, look closely, guys. Don't do what I just did. And then, $1180. So this card's a little bit, it's about what the last one sold for, a little bit higher than the last one, but a little bit lower than the two comps that preceded that. So make of it what you will, $900 there. We haven't really gotten to the point of my conversation, but we're getting there. 98 Planet Metal, right? We talk about the 97, 98, which card ranks where, which one you would prefer. Two very, very different cards. One's die cut, one's not. One pack odds are way better than the other. One's first year Metal Universe, one's second year Metal Universe. You got all that stuff conflicting, and then you just come up with your conclusion as to which of the Planet Metals, 97 or 98, you prefer, and then you just go that route. But the PSA 9 is a tough copy. $1,500 for this one right here. I've got it pulled up in Card Ladder. That's what the card looks like up close. Beautiful card. If you really zoom in, you can see, the texture of the terra firma behind Jordan on that Planet Metal. Planet Metal is not a real planet. It is a hypothetical planet. There used to be 9 planets in the solar system, and my kids have told me in school now they are telling us that Pluto is not a planet anymore. I don't know if any of you old people or even people in your 20s have ever heard this. I am not bullshitting you that my kids came home and we were talking about the planets in the solar system, and I was going to impress them and name my planets, and they're like, Pluto's not a planet. There's 8 planets. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Pluto's certainly a planet. It was my favorite because it was tiny. And I was like, it doesn't get enough credit, and it's like a bazillion miles away. And they're like, no, Pluto's not a planet. It's been replaced with Planet Metal. So Planet Metal's the new 9th planet. I'm sticking with that story. 12% gem rate for both. A combined gem of only 60 in the world. Like I said, a little bit tougher to grade. This one's down a little bit. So $1,775 last sale, $1,500. That's the lowest price of the last 7 sales over the last 6 months. So if there's a time to buy the 98 Planet Metal, this might be the time to buy that card. Collector's Choice Gold Signature. Star Slam Dunk 5x7, the Supers BGS 9. That's a high grade for these cards. Those of you who collect Star know 5x7s in a BGS 9. It's a tough ass grade right there. If you get a 9.5, you're talking about huge numbers. But the BGS 9 does 1920. We're going to look up this 94 Collector's Choice Gold Signature. These cards never truly appealed that much to me. It does say Gold Signature, and let me show you what we're talking about here. This is interesting. This is our sale last night, 2,280. I don't know if it's the picture or if it's actually a different card, but it's card number 402. It's Upper Deck Collector's Choice Gold Signature from 1994. If you look at the pictures over here on the screen that I'm scrolling through, there's the ones that take terrible pictures, and then there's the ones that take perfect pictures. I don't know if it's the angle, or I don't know if it's a different card. I'm sorry, I just don't know much about this card. It's never really appealed to me. What does appeal to me is the shenanigans that are going on. This can't be right. If the last one that looks exactly like the card here sold for $400 on eBay at auction, right there, exact same card, it sold for $400, and that wasn't that long ago. That was 5 months ago. It just seems unlikely this card would sell for $2,280. If we sort by price, that is almost double the most anyone's ever paid for this card. I just don't see how that could possibly be legitimate. So If somebody knows, if somebody bought it, let me know. Congrats, I guess. But it seems like you paid a lot more than the last comp, so maybe you've got some explaining to do. Next is a card that's near and dear to me because I have a 9.5. This is the 96 Fleer Metal Precious Metal. This is definitely a card you're going to see very soon. We don't know what the print run is, but one of the very good viewers of this channel messaged me the other day. He had some data, he had some research where he estimated the print run, I think he said was like mid 300s, like 350. There's no serial number on this card. It is not a precious metal gem. It's the precursor to the precious metal gem. It's the 1996 Fleer Metal Precious Metal, and this is a PSA 9. I've got it pulled up right here. That's what it looks like. It looks a lot like the metal shredders, right? The subset card number 241, but it is the precious metal, so it's very different, very rare. If you hit the pop report, there's been 141 graded between the two big grading companies. There are only 35 gems on planet Earth, and this is what that card has done over the last 2 years. Again, this sale's down from the last one of 3,000 for the PSA 9, but up 52% over the last year in a declining market is pretty impressive for this card. Maybe people are starting to get educated about it. Hopefully they are. The PSA 10 has sold one time in the last year, and it sold for a big number. Let's scoot this out to 2 years so we can see, because we always like to compare those ratios, right, between BGS 9.5 and PSA 10. And of course, you got to look at the subs and just different stuff like that. Not all 10s are the same. Not all 9.5s are the same. A Min Gem's not the same as the Gem Plus Plus. You know, there's all kinds of stuff that goes into it, but the PSA 10 has sold 3 times pretty consistently for about $6,400 to $7,000, 3 in a row. And like we said, the BGS 9.5, you're talking about $2,800. So you're talking more about a 2.5 to 3 to 1 ratio for this card in comparison, maybe a 2.5, 3 to 1 ratio. Yeah, compared to the other card that we looked at where it was a 7 to 1 ratio, which I thought for me that means the BGS 9.5 is a buy. But next to it we've got a monster, and I'm kind of mad I didn't jump on this one. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think I have this card in my collection. I think I ended up pulling the trigger and picking the card up, and now I can't remember. 3060. It's the exclamation points. We're going to talk about this. If I recall, in Tier 3 of the Michael Jordan Hierarchy Project, a card that many could argue should be a Tier 2 card in the hierarchy. Big card. Here it is. This is what it looks like up close. Not a great picture. It's a little more vibrant than that. It's a card that actually fits in a sleeve. This is one of those Thunder and Lightnings, one of those 911s, one of those Gravity Denieds. That's actually a swivel, but one of those weird sort of Jordan cards that actually fits in a sleeve. The card's been graded outside of the sleeve so you can actually see Jordan and see the picture. When it's in the sleeve, you can't really see any of the things that are happening, but you can see the paint, the lane, and the key behind him forms an exclamation point. They took liberties with how an NBA floor is designed, but that's why it's called exclamation points. Tough pack odds. Not an easy card to find. Let's look it up. As you can see, exactly 110 ever graded. When only 110 have ever been graded, and you're talking about 25 years of cards being available, you're talking about a pretty rare card with pretty tough pack odds. The gem rate's about 1 out of 5. There's 11 9.5s. There's 8 PSA 10s. There's 19 combined gems. The 9.5 last night sells for right at kind of what we were expecting, maybe a $600 drop. That's a little bit of a drop. Significant drop over the last 2 years. As you can see, a lot of people are aware of how rare this card is, and some people are not. It is a very rare card. The PSA 10, you're talking about a big boy. You're talking about an $18,000 card on the last sale. Again, vet your own sales. That was just 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks, not even full 3 weeks ago. $18,000 for the PSA 10. If the $18,000's legit, you gotta kind of like the 9.5 for $3,000 because that's a 6 to 1 ratio. Again, here we are again, and this is a Min Gem. But here we are again where we're always wrestling with that decision. PSA 10 or 9.5. Are you a PSA only snob? Are you equal greater opportunity? Are you BGS only? Maybe if you grew up collecting in the 90s, you might only like BGS. If you do, you're in heaven right now because the disparity between BGS and PSA is growing, it would appear. A 9.5 best of the new 3181. That's a tough card. That's also a quad gem, which puts that in very rare company. Scoring magnets PSA 10. We got to look that up. Shame on you, Chris from Card Ladder, who will appear on my channel next week. Y'all got to put scoring magnets. And by the way, I want to show you this. This is something to be careful of. On these cards that are either plural or singular, don't trust one or the other. Always search both because I've got scoring magnets plugged in, and watch the results when I take off the S and change it to scoring magnet, singular. It changes, right? We lose the sale from last night. So you need the S when you're searching on Card Ladder or 130 point. I'm sure there's ways where you can search both, but I'm from Louisiana. I don't know how to search both. But 3720, I am pretty sure, is the highest paid for this card in quite some time. If we take that off, did it ever go for more? No. This is the highest price ever paid for this card. So that's something to be aware of. It is not a uproariously, ridiculous, preposterously large jump from the last sale, so I have no reason to question the authenticity of the sale. But 3720, in a declining market or a resetting market or a market that's trying to stabilize or find its saturation point or its price point equilibrium, seeing a Jordan card sell for $37.20, especially a mid-tier type Jordan card like this scoring magnets and high grade, is pretty awesome. So $37.20 for that sale. Congrats to the seller because you sold it for more than anybody's ever sold a scoring magnets card. And then congrats to the buyer. You picked up a freaking badass card. Right next to it, another card. This one lurks in the shadows as well. A card that we're going to talk about in the MJ hierarchy, but a lot of people may not know about. It's the No Boundaries PSA 10. And we got it pulled up, 4,086 for this PSA 10 last night. Here it is. 4,086 seems to be a pretty big number, considering the last one sold a couple months ago for $850. So I would be very cautious with this. That is more, right at 4 times the most that's ever been paid. That doesn't seem right. Either somebody last night said, F you, Cajun, I'm going to get every card on your MJ hierarchy in PSA 10 or BGS 9.5, or this is a fake sale. So I don't know. You guys make your own decisions. Again, all I can do is provide the information. You guys got to vet it yourself. But last night on Goldin, the No Boundaries sold for $4,086 in a PSA 10. And we're talking about this card right here in the middle. Jordan 86 Fleer subset card. This is card number 1 in that subset with Jordan is Air Jordan warm-ups. 9.5 does 4,200. The SP HoloView PC5. This is the die cut, so you'll notice at the top the card's die cut. I've got this one pulled up as well. Again, careful. The last sale of this card, it's a Pop 39, so don't get me wrong. It's a very rare card. It definitely matters. It's a tier 4 card in my opinion. It does not, get into the top 125, 150 or 160 Jordan cards in the world. That's just me and my personal opinion. You could definitely argue this card belongs in tier 3. You really can't argue tier 2 or tier 1. But the jump from 850 to 4,207 to me seems unsustainable and inorganic. Again, the highest the cards ever sold for was in bubble year, which is 2021 for $1,800. This one goes for $4,200. Draw your own conclusions. Another humongous jump. Comment below. I want to get your thoughts. I just want to know what other people think because I'm just a dude looking at the same data that you guys are looking at. The Gatorade Jordan does $49.80, and this is why I say do your own research, draw your own conclusions, because I talked about this, I think, last week, and it might have been in PWCC or Goldin. I can't remember, but we're about to look. The Gatorade 9.5 is a big card. Look, it's a big card. It's a 4-figure card. It's very cool. It's very relevant. I talk about it on my Best of Best, the Jordan episodes that come out every Friday, which you'll catch one of those today as well. So stay tuned. Hit the bell icon. Make sure you subscribe. You're going to see a Best of Best, Best of the Best Jordan. And I think today's episode is 1988. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. I should probably know that. But it's coming out today at 5 p.m. So stay tuned if you want to see some more Jordan stuff. That's not it. Here it is. And this is why I say be the hell careful, because here's the deal. This card sold for $9,600 on June 28th, and I think it was. Okay, so it was in the Goldin Weekly, and I talked about it, and I was like, that's a big jump from $5,700 in 6 days to $9,600. And I know subgrades matter and all this crap, but again, this is the card we're talking about. It's just an awesome card. But it jumped from $5,700 to $9,600 to $4,980, and that's not okay. Something's not right. If I'm a gambling man and you made me guess, I would say the 9,600 is not legit. If we look at view all sales, I haven't done this yet, but let's look at it. Card Ladder can let you look at the sale. This is the sale last night, and it was 71. So card had certification number 71. The one that sold for 9,600 had certification number 66, and I guess we could have looked at the subs as well. This is a Min Gem that sold for 9,600. The one that sold last night is a Min Gem as well. A card selling for double, what it did a week before just doesn't make any sense to me. Let's keep moving. I want to look at these two together and show you something. I'm not sure why I can't pull both of them up in Card Ladder. We talk about the Upper Deck Premium Choice Reserve. I talked about it actually in last night's video with Josh Dawson. And I'm going to talk about it again in the MJ Hierarchy video series with Chris from Card Ladder. This is a card, and by the way, I just noticed, look how off-center this SP Hollowview card is, and to get a 10, wow, that's rough. Premium Choice Reserve is a product. It's a very inexpensive product, right? Upper Deck Choice, UD Choice. The Premium Choice Reserves were serial numbered to 100, so it makes them big cards. As you can see, 5,286 for card number 189, 8,400 for card number 200. Those are both parallels to the base set, okay? Cards you don't see very often. They're very rare. The MJ set registry people are going to chase those cards. Any serial number Jordan card from his playing years is going to go for bonkers numbers. This is no exception. When we look it up in Card Ladder, I wanted to keep it generic, so I did not include the card number because I wanted to look up both of them and see where they were. When I type in 98 Choice Premium Reserve PSA 8, it pulls up one of them, but this is not the other one. It does not pull up the other one that sold last night right here, and I don't know why, because I'm looking at the title, 98 Choice. I didn't even put in Upper Deck or UD. I put in 98, I put in Choice, I put in Premium, and I put in Reserve, and then I put in PS. That's why, because it's PSA 9. Never mind. Dumb Cajun. Okay, so there's the PSA 8. Let's look at the PSA 9 first. Let's do it. That's what I was like, why is it pulling one up and not the other? Dumbass. It's a PSA 9. That's why. Boom. There we go. Okay, my apologies. 5286. Let's look at the highest price ever sold. Not a surprise. Double the highest price ever sold and then some. Draw your own conclusions. And now we're going to look at the sales price for this one right here, 98 Upper Deck Choice Premium Reserve. Let's go back to our sales data. Let's go to PSA 8. Here is our sale right here last night. $8,400. The another, that's Barkley, so that's not going to count. I haven't typed in Jordan. Let me go type in just Jordan 100, and then what is this card number 200? And let's see what the highest version of this card has ever sold for in any grade. Last night by a pretty large margin. The same card in PSA 9 just sold a couple months ago for $2,300. So that's more than 3x the last sale just a few months ago. So again, we've got some thinking to do. We've got some conclusions to draw. We've got some numbers to crunch. We've got some serious, I would look at a few of these sales very, very skeptically. I know people are always giving PWCC shit about shill bidding their own cards, which makes no sense. Goldin, for some reason, doesn't get the same freaking scrutiny, and I don't know why. Again, the people that are shill bidding, it's not going to be a Goldin employee shill bidding the card, because if it's shill bidding and they get caught holding the bag, well, the card doesn't get paid. Goldin doesn't get a 20% buyer's premium or whatever their percentage of the premium is. It's quite likely it's someone else who owns the card or a buddy of the actual consignor or something like that. I acknowledge we have to crack down on that. There's lots of theories behind how to crack down on that. All auction houses need to exercise more scrutiny and impose stricter sanctions, as in ban forever. And I know you can go open another account and re-register or whatever, but like they really need to heighten security on already determined shill bid, non-pay. Even if it's not shill bid, even if it's a non-paying bidder, you're done forever. Once you're done, forget it forever. It will give people pause and caution before they bid on a card. If you don't have the money or you don't intend to pay for the card, do not bid on the card. You're screwing this up for other people. I'm not saying these are shill bid. That's not my place. And I'm not saying they aren't going to get paid for, because they quite certainly could. I'm just saying I just looked at 5 or 6 cards where the jump was preposterous to where I would question the buyer's sanity. And we're not done, because the winning card is a card that I'm super excited about. It's the 1997 Fleer Thrill Seekers. It's got the scope pattern in the background. Of course, so does the 97 Championship PMG. I'd have to do some research to see which one of those cards used that background scope pattern first that Select and some other companies have since re-implemented in the Ultramodern cards. Let's look it up. The Thrill Seekers PSA 10. Again, there's another Thrill Seekers out there. This is the 97. 9600 for this card. Here it is on Card Ladder. That's what it looks like up close. And of course, in that window pane in the background, that's the scope pattern that we're talking about. There's a couple cards that kind of feature a similar type pattern. The Credentials, the EX2000, Natural Born Thrillers, where there's just like a window pane in the background. Sometimes it's clouds. Sometimes it's just an opaque color. Sometimes it's translucent. In this case, it's a scope pattern in the background. But this is the Jordan Thrill Seekers, and I love the little bullseye down here, like almost like you're looking through, the scope of a sniper rifle in between the Thrill Seekers. I love that font, right? I should change Cajun Cardboard's go-to font as that. Pop 34, this jump, and I'm not buying it, man. 4,500 all the way up to 9,600. If we go back to the all-time chart, that is almost the most anyone's ever paid for this card. It is a Pop 34, and I realize there are people out there with so much money they just don't give a shit. They just see Pop 34. If I don't get it, I may never get it. Yeah, I realize the last one was the 5th straight downward sale for 4,500, but I'm going to pay 9,600. That's more than double, man. From 4,600, like if I go sort this by like the last, what do we have to do? No, that's not going to work. Let's go 6 months. Nope, it's not going to work. Yeah, well, I can't do it. I wanted to just calculate the difference from 4,500 to 9,600. Well, it's more than 100% up. We know that because 4,500 times 2 is 9,000, and this is 9,600. I don't know, guys. Let me know. Questionable last week, back on track this week. Questionable here. Questionable grade on that, first of all. Questionable. I mean, we're ending with a lot of sales that I'm not sure about. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Again, it's nice to do a video other than the MJ Hierarchy Project and get it out. You'll catch 2 non-Hierarchy Project videos today. The next Hierarchy Project video comes out on Monday, and then that will feature Josh Dawson and I talking about Tier 2 Part 2. And then on Wednesday, you'll catch the great Chris McGill from Card Ladder talking about Tier 1 and both pictures of Tier 2. So Chris and I, we're both long-winded. We both love to talk, and we both appreciate the cards. It's going to be a long video. I'll just give you a hunch. It's 86 minutes long. So my apologies to those of you who appreciate brevity. That has never been my forte. But Chris and I talk about 81 cards. So forgive us. It just takes a little bit longer to get through 3 27-card pictures. But Chris has tremendous insight on it. And of course, Card Ladder is a product. Those guys don't pay me, but I endorse them for free because that product is what I use to price cards and make decisions in the hobby, and their sales history is invaluable. Obviously, I use it every time I look up, one of these cards in these auction recaps. So stay tuned for those 2 videos, Monday and Wednesday. And Tier 3 videos are already in the works, right? Josh and I are filming those, and then we'll bring in some more special guests, and we'll talk about Tier 3. Tier 3 is 81 cards, so it's going to be 3, 4, 5 videos long at the very least, with different people coming on and giving their input about all those cards, because we're starting to get into the weeds. We're starting to get into the cards that all of us can have as well. So a couple things. If you like these videos, there's a couple ways you can support the channel. I'm not going to waste a ton of your time. I talk about it all the time. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. But if you want to support the channel, if you want to support the Hierarchy Project, I've got something that I'm going to contribute to the hobby that's costing about $2,000 but I'm going to give it away for free, and I think you know what it is. It's going to be awesome. If you want to support the channel, hit the PayPal link in the YouTube description, or if you buy and sell on PWCC, I've got the instructions on how you can engage PWCC to buy or sell through the Cajun Cardboard channel. That way, all of your purchases and sales on PWCC contribute and help support the Cajun Cardboard channel. You can also buy one of these badass t-shirts. This is a Cajun Cardboard t-shirt. Homage.com makes these shirts. I am also an affiliate brand sponsor, I think that's what you call it, with Homage.com. Great place to go buy gifts and stuff for your kids, gifts for people. Very clever pop culture, NBA, NFL, MLB. A lot of really cool t-shirts and other apparel there on homage.com, HOMAGE.com. And I have an affiliate link where if you click through me, all of your purchases on homage.com will also support the Cajun Cardboard channel. So again, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. I've got some surprise stuff happening this weekend that's going to end up on the channel. I'm working through valuing a very, 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 very large raw basketball card collection that has been located in the Northeast. I've actually got 2 people that I'm paying to help me run comps. That's how many cards there are. There are some very meaningful cards in there. I hope to negotiate a very fair win-win deal situation with this very knowledgeable, very experienced, and very impressive collector in the Northeast, and then have some great content for the channel in the long term. It may work out, it may not, but I am not exaggerating when I say I've got probably 25 hours into just trying to value the collection, being that I am like 1,000 miles away or 2,000 miles away from where it is, and it's all raw, so it's going to be tough. But I'm confident we're gonna come to terms. Very reasonable people oftentimes can meet in the middle and find a win-win situation. So great content coming from that. I mean, a month's worth of content. That's how big this collection would be. It'd be great for the channel. So wish me some luck on that, and say a prayer for me that we can take that down and I can bring all that to the collecting public and talk through some of those decisions regarding that raw collection as well. What to grade, what to keep, what to sell, what to, all that stuff. It's fun stuff. So thanks for watching these videos as well. Again, some of these are skeptical. I'm skeptical about. You guys make your own decision. I do appreciate and value your comments below, because that's how I learn about what's legit and what's not. If you have any reason to believe any of these are or aren't legit, please comment below and let us know. Obviously, some of the people that watch the channel are people that are buying on the Goldin Weekly Auction. I'm one included. I buy on the Goldin Weekly Auction all the time. I've obviously been on the sidelines because I'm working through some other stuff, and I've got a really, really big Jordan Tier 1 grail coming in the mail in the next couple days that I can't wait to show you guys in a future mail day video. Thank you guys for watching. I've rambled long enough. Keep collecting. Have a great weekend. Stay positive in the hobby, and peace.